Hello, everybody. Good afternoon. Welcome back to the stream. It's me, DIGI. We are back in Euro Truck Simulator 2, and if it can actually be believed, we're actually in Europe this time. It might not sound like a good point, but I am basically saying that after literal months of me virtually having no other jump into ETS2 other than to do Japan, I am back in Europe, actually in Greece, and we are about to start a earthbound portion of the Digi World Tour as we choose to get to a place of interest, wherever that may be. But we're going to go trucking and we're going to pick up some Greek cargo and deliver it maybe within or outside the country. So let me go ahead and take a look at the map and get started. I know it may be a bit quiet, so I apologize for that. Let me take a look at the cargo market. I could also do external contracts as well. Oh wow, that just jumped out at me. All right, let me just check the volume because that might have just made a bunch of people jump. Oh my word. Let me kick this back a bit. I'm going to play with the volume so you're going to hear the menu music go into and out. I'm going to say this should probably be good. And if I keep talking, let me just see where the levels stick. Oh wow, like for some weird reason I'm actually peaking in the red. Don't know why. But let me take the mic levels down just a touch. I know I'm a bit boomy, and I know that like it likes to keep me. Let me just experiment with zero point 0.8 in the negative and see if that sticks. Okay, we'll do what we can. We'll do what we can. Meanwhile, let's get started with what I think is going to be our first run. I don't know if I want to go in that direction, especially since it doesn't seem to be a very extensive delivery. But I mean, okay, when else am I going to actually, take advantage of the Greek scenery? That's fine. That's fine. Let's go ahead. We'll grab the cargo, hop a ferry to Mytilene, and then we'll start experiencing what this amazing country has to offer. Oh, excuse me. I was looking at external contracts and instead of external market. Wow. Okay. Hey, Laos, welcome aboard. Happy to see you. Feel free to grab a seat in the cab. We're going to be delivering some cargo today. And let me see if I can go further down. But it actually looks like the further out I go, the further out of the country I go. So again, good to see you. Let's get started. We'll grab some oranges and deliver them. Okay, now, weird thing is, it's like quiet inside the cab. But let me see. Alright, let me see what the volume is like. Yeah, the truck's actually pretty quiet. That's a little weird. We'll do what we can. Let me know how the volume levels are, and I will do my best to adjust them. But with that said, welcome aboard. We are going to be going international today with some Greek, I guess, Greek interior trips, maybe some island hopping. Don't quite know. Oopsies. Looks like I didn't make that red light, so complimentary donation to the Greek government. All the same, it is good to have friends in chat. That just, I'm sorry, what? That just texted you from Greece. Oh, that's so meta. I think that's meta. At any rate, it's it's really cool and just a touch awesome. Oh, this is so cool. So, actually, I really haven't driven in Greece since I got the expansion. They flew to Turkey. They flew to Turkey on the same day I did, and now they're in Greece. Okay, that is fat. That's next level awesome. Wow. Okay, I think it's safe to say my stream is made now. That's so dope. Wow. Well, um, I mean, on top of the fact that I spent some time on the open road yesterday, I was thinking about I was like debating the idea of streaming, and then Mrs. DG asked if I was interested in streaming today, and I said like, well, I'm thinking about it, and she's like, yeah, yeah, yeah. So basically, here I am. And then the secondary question was, okay, am I gonna fly or am I gonna do trucking? And I had thought about doing a trucking stream because on the one hand, I I've been playing around with, FS 2020, and especially playing around with FS 2024, and I was just like, well, do I want to do a flight in FS 2024? And I think the only way that I can explain this, if you'll pardon the incoming pun, is to use the X-plane effect. As some of you know, I had X-Plane 11 installed on my PC for a while. And I also had X-Plane 12 installed on my PC for a while. And basically, I installed X-Plane 12 literally like months after the release actually went gold. And I was like, I think doing a little bit of beta action for a while, and then I just went back to the official release. And I flew it for that's kind of annoying. I'm gonna stop. I flew it for I think like a few times, a few months or something, and then what happened was I said, "Well, I'm gonna put this down now because I don't feel motivated to stream it." And I went back to X-Plane 11, and X-Plane 11 had so much stuff installed, so many mods, so many planes, so much scenery, and that was kind of like what happened to me. And then eventually, after a while, I'm like, "Well, Digi, this is kind of stupid. You have a new sim, and you are feeling the difference between the two. So stop acting like you don't want to do more in X-Plane 12 and go do it." And I think what happened was I actually decided to. Oh, no, 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 no. This is what happened. This is what happened. Okay. Okay. I like to fly, you know, have like ortho and stuff like that. And I think what happened was I enjoyed X-Plane 12, and I really liked everything it brought to the table. Oh my word. Studio Connect with a 55-month resub. 55 months or 55 diverging diamond interchanges in a row? I don't know. I mean, sounds like a challenge to me. I might have to redeem that. So, did you need help? Okay, let me know if you do. Okay. Sorry, I was just checking in with Mrs. DG. She's moving some stuff up to the front. But yeah, I mean, have your people call my people. I might have just come up with a challenge for the month of November. 55 diverging diamond interchanges in maybe one stream. I don't know. I don't know. We'll see for sure. But yeah, I was Canuck. I was just going into detail about how like my decision to spend time in 2024 is kind of like the X Plane 12 effect when I wanted to go into I want to go into X Plane 12 and not X Plane 11 anymore. So yeah, exactly where it's all going. And when I bought X Plane 12, I didn't use it for a while, and then I'm like I literally said like this is kind of stupid. Like I should be in the new sim, but I had that friction with X Plane 11 because a lot of stuff was installed. And what broke X Plane 11 for me, and I'm not saying it broke as in it stopped working. What broke me continuing to use X Plane 11 was what happened when there was a that's it. There was a scenery update. There was a scenery update, a global scenery update. And here's what happened. The the global scenery came through. They updated, and I think it was like a I don't know like a somewhere between a 40 to an 80 gig update for the world. And then I was just like, well, okay. I had a thought in my head that said at some point I was going to try to transfer the ortho that I had made for X-Plane 11 into 12, which some people did, especially people that had hand cooked or hand baked their ortho in X-Plane 11 through Ortho for XP, for example. Because I mean, I got to a point where I baked so much ortho. I had America covered with V states, and then I had ortho for the Caribbean, ortho for Europe, and I think ortho for either parts of Asia or I mean definitely for Australia. And then basically when I saw that X-Plane 12 had it, I was just like, well, I can't use this ortho anymore, I don't think. So it was done. So I just said, okay, all this ortho has to go, and I got rid of literally like terabytes of ortho without hesitation. Hey, listen, like I appreciate your perspective, Sogan. I like that you're like letting me know about stuff like that because I feel at this point I've waffled back and forth. I remember when FS 2020 first came out, I waffled back and forth so much with regards to using FS 2020, and there were problems that I had with FS 2020 at the beginning, and I was just like, well, you know, I'm unhappy with FS 2020, and then I was unhappy with X-Plane for a little while. But then I flew X-Plane for a while, and then I was like, well, I miss flying in FS 2020, so I jumped back into it, and then that's right around the point where it settled. I think that was like 2022, 2021. Mid 2021 was where FS 2020 really kicked in. And then people started coming over from P3D and all these places because they were like, well, like they've got a lot of stuff set up. So going back to X-Plane, when when the world update happened and I realized I had a bunch of ortho that probably wasn't going to work anymore, I said, you know what? I don't care. Bye. And then basically I got rid of literally terabytes of ortho. I said I had a great run with X-Plane 11. The visuals in X-Plane 12, the atmospherics are literally next level. And I said, okay, I'm good. I'm done. I got rid of it. No regrets. And for me, as I started to see people stream FS 2024 more and more, I think my curiosity grew. And I was just like, well, I mean, it's not like I absolutely hate 2024. It's just that I had difficulty figuring out how to make it work. Well, that is a point too, because I mean, like I've thought about, you know, we'll just call them issues using certain operating systems or environments. So it's something that I've thought of in the past. I think I like Linux pretty much about as much as I do um, Windows. Lost Lake, hey, good evening, my friend. Welcome, welcome, Lost Lake, party of four. Lost Lake, party of four. 45. Welcome. Welcome, Raiders of the Last Stream. My name is DIGI Driver. I am a flight sim enthusiast and scenery creator. Although, as you can see today, we are on the ground, but we are doing an officially unofficial world tour. I started in Vancouver and I've actually been flying west. Today, though, I'm on the ground. The last time I flew in any sim, I landed in Skiathos, and and an X-plane. The sim promptly crashed the desktop when I tried doing a replay. But we did actually land at Skiathos. We did actually butter the bread, and basically I said, okay, boom, done, happy. I wasn't even mad because I knew that behavior was still happening occasionally. So I was like, well, we made it down. I have the proof. I have the VOD. So I'm happy. And today we're actually exploring Greece, a scenery download which is official from SES Software, the people that actually make the trucking sim, Euro Truck Simulator 2. But I haven't explored it in literally months since I purchased it. I downloaded a whole bunch of map expansions to be able to drive in Japan. But I started to think, hey, maybe I should drive in Europe because I haven't. And I'm glad that I waited this long because SES Software has done a yeoman's job in terms of making scenery better. The difference between the truck sim that I used to play in like 2014 and 2015 and now is just it's worlds apart. It's literally worlds apart. They've done so much in terms of visuals, excuse me, and scenery and built-ins that it's like, oh, okay, new place to explore, more money to plunk down. If they have money, get it, and no regrets. I mean, there may come a point at which I say, okay, I'm done trucking, poof, but that's not happening. At least that's not happening anytime soon. So I'm exploring Greece today. You know, I mean, I'm enjoying this place, and I'm cutting through these hills pretty quick, like Grease lightning. Dad joke inbound. Uh, I'm sorry, I couldn't resist that one. Um, Lost Lake. I am running this on a actually about a 5-year-old system at this point. It's a Ryzen 9 5900X processor. It's pretty greasy around here. Oh, nice. I didn't see that one coming. Wow. So that's awesome. Um, so basically, what was I trying to say? Right. Ryzen 9 5900X processor, NVIDIA 3060 Ti for the graphics, 8 gigs of VRAM, and um, I've got like an NVMe drive, but I think I actually have ETS2 installed on my mechanical drive because I wanted to keep things off the NVMe drive because I wanted to dedicate that way more to flight simming, which is what's happened. And as I've continued to enjoy flight simming and gone through the ups and downs of different versions, scenery, and all this stuff, I a little while ago I made the decision to temporarily, permanently uninstall P3D from my system because I wasn't even using it for plane spotting anymore, and I wanted to get started with that. And 64 gigabytes of actual system memory. So this is really smooth experience, and I'm happy that I have it. And believe it or not, Lost Lake, I was looking at stuff saying that my system wasn't going to support the update, and then they did. I was I was thinking about what was going to happen, whether I was going to have buy a new computer to stay on Windows, and then they basically said, "Oh no, never mind. You can actually upgrade it," and I did. It took me like an evening, and it happened, and I'm good. And then basically, I was set. Hold on, I think I got to turn here. My exit. But I was expecting to have to purchase a new PC, and it did not turn out that way. But I mean, to prior arguments, I mean, I like Linux, and I've messed around with Linux with the Raspberry Pi machines off and on for literal years. The chance of me actually creating something like, say, for example, a Linux machine daily driver for the important things that I have to do, I'd say is fairly realistic. Now, a Linux machine for gaming, that's going to take a little bit more finagling, but it's not impossible. And if I do stuff like playing with Steam titles, like, for example, this Euro Truck Sim and American Truck Sim, and theoretically, even Microsoft Flight Sim, if it's fully Steam compatible, which it is available on Steam, and it's OS agnostic, then there might be a few hiccups in terms of using it, but that might actually inspire me to, go all in on a Linux setup and then not worry about using Windows. Yeah, so like it's not like the confusing old days. It's not like, for example, oh, I'm using OpenSUSE. I have to cook all my own graphics drivers. I don't know what to do. Help! No, no, we're so far past that. Like, I've used version after version of Ubuntu with zero effort, and some people might be like, Ubuntu, that's not even like a Linux distribution anymore. It's like, okay, all right. Let me clear the air here. I am not interested in answering anyone's questions, and I'm saying this in the sense that I'm not interested in clearing any confusion about, what distro, like real Linux users use. If it's a Linux distro, I'll probably try it, short of me trying to cook my own Arch install. Sudo everything. Nice. Oh my word. Yes, of course. Sudo all the things. Sudo bash, right? People that are more clearly better at Linux than I am would be like, DIGI, why'd you have to say sudo bash? Really? That's okay. I know enough about Linux to know there is literal volumes of stuff that I don't know, that I can learn because of anti-cheat. Oh, okay. Concession. For this stream, I'm not going to worry about parking unless I want to park at the end or do something. I'm just going to go bam, 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 rapid fire. All right, now, company job offers. Oh, no contracts? What about cargo market? Okay, I don't have to have everything in World of Trucks. Take me. Ooh, what's this? I can hop a boat? I don't know. So I can go back the way I came and hop to that island. You know what? Let's do it. Let's take some beverages out there. Let me see if I can get turned around. I don't know if I can, but we'll try it anyway. I mean, okay, suffice it to say, I am no longer as traveling across the land eating cheese and so bad. Oh, dude, that'd be so dope. Eating cheese. All right, so I'm okay. I'm okay to like back into the parking spaces and get loaded up. That's fine. That's not a problem. Unless it's gonna take me a long time to get set. Then I'm gonna be like, oh, okay, we gotta go. All right, so let me let me see. Thank you, Sogan. Dude, I so respect you. So, like, number one, never worry about speaking your mind here, and number two, thank you. Thank you for letting me know. It is something. Your feedback is something that I'm going to factor into, you know, my usage of my decisions. In one sense, I'm going to take that to heart while I think about ways to further get myself set up in Linux because I like using Linux in the first place, and also I think it might drive me to be more diversified in terms of being able to work with Linux and game on Linux because I wanted to for a while anyway. So there you go. And if it also means that I continue to use Windows for the foreseeable future, that's what it means to. But again, very glad to get perspective from you, my friend. Okay, so we are clearing. We are going to explore more parts of this place called Greece, this country, Digi. Hashtag Digi Geography. But I definitely appreciate the scenery, even though I've never been to Greece, IRL. I am going to go ahead and say that the experience of exploring Europe after literal years of upgrades and rework is now officially different than what it used to be. It used to be like Euro Truck Sim 2 back in like the late 20 teens was kind of like, you know, not as good. Lost Lake, enjoy your lurk. Thanks so much for stopping in and thanks so much for the raid, my friend. Thank you. Take care. Enjoy the lurk. Yeah, I mean, back in the day, it didn't hold much interest for me after grinding to get my company set up. Yeah, actually, Lost like the conversation actually brought up some points and some things that I think about now, and I think about like using Linux versus using Windows, but also flight sims and games in particular. Am I going to make this turn? I think I'm going to make this turn. Yes. Okay. And actually, overshooting the turn worked to my benefit. Nice. So, yeah, we kind of sort of finished explaining my decision to jump ship to X-Plane 12 from X-Plane 11 because after I got rid of my ortho and I decided to start using things like auto ortho, X-Plane 12 was like, see, there you go, it's not so bad. And on a similar level, with enough people using 2024, I've gotten to the point where it's like enough people are using 2024, even in light of some other pieces of software not being compatible yet, that I'm like, okay, I think it's time for me to make the jump. Yeah, yeah, I think in general, Linux as a whole, as a platform, as a way of life, has really, really become so mainstream. Even in my opinion, on what you might call the outer fringes of of users that like can basically roll their own distributions and figure out what pieces of software work best for them and what doesn't. I mean, there are some just absolute geniuses out there that probably run entire operating systems from the command line and barely have any GUI to speak of. Like, I'm not them, but that we have them and that we have so much diversity in terms of Linux distributions and support and people that are actually, you know, really advocating for Linux in the community, that's cool too. And I think Linux has come a long way in terms of gaming as well. Now, let me think. Oh yeah, 2024. Um, yeah. I'm gonna be going through the process slowly, but I am gonna be going through the process, and I think it is going to drive, it is going to drive my decision to start porting over. I don't know why dude stopped in the middle of the road and turned his flashers on. Um, okay, that's fine. But whereas I was getting confused as to whether or not I wanted to develop for FS 2020 anymore, I think that's slowly going away. And I don't think I am feeling as much motivation to finish my projects in FS 2020. I might start over again with 2024, and I will tell you why. The base level texturing and PBR improvements have hit this new stride, which is absolutely, in my opinion, amazing. Right. I mean, like, I could continue to do scenery development for FS 2020, but it's going to be purely hobby based. Like, I don't have to get rid of 2020 just because I'm going over to 2024. What will probably happen though is it'll probably happen in two stages. Stage one, I get rid of basically every world update that I installed in 2020 because they're going to go into 2024 and I'm going to download the software and install it locally. If I do that, then the community updates and installs that I do for scenery are going to probably work a lot better. And then I can focus on finishing the work that I have in FS 2020 unless I decide to completely pull the plug, flush everything, start over, and bring everything into 2024, which is probably where about, I don't know, 95% of people are going right now anyway in terms of the Sims, because we've come far enough where I think there's been enough progress in 2024 to justify people saying, okay, I'm done with this, bye. And again, also looking into Explain 12 scenery development because that's a thing, it exists, and I dabbled with it once before, and I think I probably should get into it too. But all things being equal, like, I can't have Explain 12 installed and FS 2020 installed and FS 2024 installed with all the things without buying more NVMe space or choosing to get rid of something. And seeing as how I just temporarily permanently pitched P3D, probably more permanently, and am not wincing from missing, the thousands of dollars of old scenery that I dumped into the old sim, 2020 may be next on the chopping block. Well, that's good because that will help me And that might even help me to make some decisions. Because on the one hand, I haven't really done a lot in FS 2024, and there's not a lot that I've installed. Also, reinstalling 2024 is probably not going to be an issue because I don't have much installed for that sim anyway. I could probably uninstall it and reinstall it on a new NVMe drive with very little in terms of, me saying, well, you don't know. I don't know if I want to actually blah, blah, blah. No, I can literally hit the uninstall button and reinstall it on a different NVMe, and that will be it. So I think I'm not going to worry. Ooh, oh, a 4 terabyte NVMe drive for not that much cash? That sounds too good to be true. But you've done it, so I believe you. That's superb, man. Wow. Go figure. That's incredible. Well, I mean, certainly to be continued, but I will say the current ecosystem is influencing my development decisions. And I will also say that life has been influencing my development decisions lately. And the reason why I picked trucking today was specifically because of just how easily I'd be able to, segue into these conversations and talk about stuff like that. So, okay, here's the thing. The past few months, I've just been, you know, bouncing back and forth between work, life, flight sim, trucking, trying to get back into scenery dev, and doing a whole bunch of things, and trying to maintain, honestly, good mental health. And that is possible, of course, first and foremost, through my relationship with God through Jesus Christ. I am a born again Christian, and just to let y'all know, I want all of you to know Jesus as Lord and Savior. And at the same time, I always want to let people know that they're free to hang out here, and I'll never push what I believe down your throats because I appreciate having you here, and I am open to the conversation if you want to have it at some point, which will be in a more controlled venue. And with regards to all the stuff going on, I would say I feel better. I know there was like a lot of like running around mentally, so to speak, and trying to get myself set up. I'm working with a new team at work. 2 terabyte for 240. Okay, so yeah. I mean, I'm not in a hurry to get more space right now, and hopefully by the end of this year, those prices should come down significantly. Okay, I see that. Um, I will say there have been some wonderful moments I've had in the past few months in terms of just life and I think goal setting. I mean, hey, let's start with the basics. I'm actually down 4 pounds. So I'm happy about that. I went to go, get my wellness check, and my doctor said that, and I'm like, hey, I'll take it. So um, that's good, and checked in about life and some of the things that I'm doing to try to improve my health, and some of the ways that I'm trying to continue to be there for Mrs. Digi. We recently had a wedding anniversary, and I'm trying not to take life for granted. I'll be the first person to tell you I mess up every single day, but I'm so grateful for what my heavenly Father gives me through Jesus Christ. So, and also all of you hanging out here, being in chat, even lurking. Thank you. Thank you for being here. Thank you for for choosing to spend time with me when you could be doing anything else. I appreciate you. One of the things that was on my mind this afternoon was I was, oh, speaking of storage, looking at CF Express. CF Express cards. Wow. If I record RAW on my camera, it can take up to 4.2. Wait. Oh, if you record, it's up to 4.2 gigabits per second. Whoa. So basically, that's half a gigabyte a second. Wow. Wow. That's that's amazing. That's amazing. Unbelievable and amazing. Look how far we've come in terms of tech, where you can literally chew through half a gigabyte in a second. That's kind of nuts. Wow. Whew. Well, I mean, if if we're getting to the point where people are talking about 8K and we have screens that are going to be super duper hyper ultra realistic, then I guess there's a use case for having beefy amounts of storage. But I guess the old storage methods are not going to work, I guess. So, is what it is. Wow. So 2 terabytes gives you 65 minutes. I gotta stay in this lane actually. Wow, this is incredible. This is why I'm glad I'm doing a world tour, because it's kind of giving me a chance to see, and I'm actually glad that I've waited this long to do a world tour, because even in the truck sim, it's giving me different scenery and perspective. Now, also, with regards to life, I'm learning to balance a lot more of what it is that I want to do against my time in front of a computer screen. I'm trying to be so much more mindful of, you know, time with family, time with Mrs. Digi, time with my pets. And when one of my cats wants me to play with him, I want to play with him. I don't just want to go, okay, I'm done working, I've cleaned up, I've cooked, I spent time catching up, okay, let me jump on my computer and disappear. It's like, no, we can do a better job. We can do a better job. 300 FPS at 800 megabits per second. Well, yeah, yeah. I mean, sheesh. Put it this way, I don't think bitrate or quality is the end all be all, because now you have people talking about using old cameras from, like, a Nintendo DSi or a 3DS to go for like the nostalgic thing, the grainy pictures and stuff like that. And we used to look at our smartphones back in like the late 20 teens and say something like, "Oh, well, I I hope for the day when we can like take so much better pictures on our phones," and now we can. And now people are like, "I want to take grainy pictures again," which is both funny and nostalgic to me. And now I'm going to step into the middle of the road because I'm driving here. There we go. Bruh, I'll shoot competitively with a Canon PowerShot from when I was in middle school. Nice. And that's because I feel like there are certain um, concepts with regards to using those cameras that still persist, which is wonderful. That's why, coincidentally, that's why I'm still such a huge fan of the even the old DSLR cameras, because there's still tech that exists to be used specifically for camera shots. Oh, okay, I get it. I get it. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I mean, I think you showed a picture of, what was it? You showed a picture of the camera that you purchased a little while ago. Um, wait, wait. Are we going to the right place? Hold on a moment. We're supposed to go to Mytilene, so I don't think we're actually on the right boat. Let me double check the destinations again. I think Mytilene is here, and I don't think. Wait, do I have to board a boat from here to go there? I'm going to say yes. All right. I got the money to spend, so I'm not worried about running out of money. Yep, there we go. Add to take a transfer. Nice. Okay, so we went island hopping, and now it's like the sun has set, and now we're hopping a different boat to a different island. Wow. You're only as good as your weakest component. I believe that. I believe that. And also, I think as times change, old cameras will serve a different purpose. I have old, like literal cameras on my desk that were like digital cameras that I might repurpose for genuinely trying to learn about photography or just enjoying their capacity, my ability to do stuff with them. So I might get back into that. And honestly, that's like a part of like life lessons that I'm learning right now, like being more present, trying to be more engaged, trying to spend less time obsessing about stuff. I'm trying to do my absolute best to literally stop overthinking, because it doesn't just steal my energy, it steals my time. And if like, you lose time, you lose an opportunity, you can get another opportunity. You lose time, you can't get time back. And it's like, oh wow, this is narrow. I can't get that back. So I definitely don't want to overthink anymore. And I think it's cool to be able to fall back on other cameras that you've used in the past and just do comparisons. See how certain shots look. Use them for different needs. Use a deliberately obsolete camera to snap a new perspective on something like a candy bar wrapper. I don't know. But, you know, skilled people know how to make the most of something, like you. So I get it. At least I think I do anyway. All that said, um, I'm probably going to use, you know, old cameras again myself and try to do my best to use the opportunities that I have, and not be so concerned with not engaging, because when I'm not doing something and I keep talking about it, it's not going to help me get to a point where I actually do something. I need to do something and then see how that works out. I didn't do a lot of that in the past. Ooh, nice. All right, so let's see. Almost done for my second delivery in Greece, and we'll see if I can take a boat from here to the mainland and then explore mainland Greece and then maybe even drive out of Greece. I don't know. But thanks again to everybody that's actually tuned in today and is lurking. Um, just grateful to have you guys with me as I truck through here and just chill. I do have off tomorrow, so I'm mulling over the possibility of maybe a day off stream, but I'm not going to lose any sleep over saying, you know what? No, I'm just going to chill. Nice. Um, I used to actually spend a good chunk of time doing stuff with photography, so like from the amateur perspective, somebody that just like taking photos as a kid, taking the photos to get them developed. Because I like taking photos, I like recording things, I like recording life. And now it's just like what's the phrase? What am I trying to say? It didn't actually hit me that I wanted to do more with it. So yeah, like especially on Discord, hit me up if you have questions you want to learn or you want to like pick my brain about, why I like taking pictures, stuff like that. But feel free to drop some nuggets of wisdom here if you want. Oh, good gravy, no. I thought we were dialed into Mitalini. Plums. Ooh, I could go from Mitalini to Heraklion. Let's go. Delivering caviar, chat. Dude, that's dope. Nice. I look forward to having my ear virtually talked off then. That's wonderful. Okay, I should be able to get out of here, even if I go jackknife for a moment. All right, good stuff. I have to go across the street, so to speak, and then go pick up the caviar. Yeah, this is not something that I usually do. A lot of like, European deliveries. I'm either in Japan or in the States. All right. So, let's go. I think I might have needed to use that turnoff lane. I don't know. It's okay. Also, Mrs. Digi and I are trying to, reset for healthier eating and stuff. We got some ideas as to things to do coming up, and I think I might call it around maybe 6:30 or so, just for the sake of just for the sake of trying to prep sooner. And again, like, I have the day off tomorrow, so it's like there's absolutely it's a no-brainer in the sense that okay, like I got time. And even if I didn't, she's worth every second. All right, now this is going to be a little bit tricky. All right, great. Let's pick up the job because I'm pretty sure it's external market. Okay, taking some. Wait, hold it. Did we run out of time for that job? Uh-oh. Did I get the old switcheroo pulled on me? Less slop. Yes, definitely less slop. Oh, wow. Now that's a hurl. Let's see. Um, 60 hours. That would literally be 200 minutes or more. And that's like basically three. Dude, I'd be driving till about eight something? Heh, no, we're not doing that. Okay, I wanted to go to Heraklion, but it looks like we're not going to be going there. What I could do. Oh, I can still get to that island. Let's go. Oh, yeah, let's go. I can tell you. I can tell you that. Um, what am I trying to say? I can tell you there are a few things that I do not do. I do not drink. I'm nowhere near a regular soda drinker. I don't drink more than 2 cups of coffee a day. And I try to keep my sleep schedule consistent. I try to. I genuinely try to. So basically, other than of course leveraging a healthier diet in general, I also want to avoid certain things. Like I'll give you a big fat for instance. I will eat sugar when I'm bored. I'm sorry. No, no, no. That's wrong. I will eat sugar. I will eat sugar as an excuse to avoid even grabbing the simplest of snacks. So knowing that, I will, whatchamacallit, I will try to set myself up for success. Fuzzy Pickles, my friend, welcome aboard. Thank you so much for dropping in. As you can see, we're trucking today. I have my, I have my newly purchased new Volvo FH series trailer, customized with the digitized theme, and we are driving in Greece. Sugar free. Well, I mean, I guess you have to start somewhere. Um, I'm actually on the opposite camp. I figure if I'm going to have something like soda or coffee, I'm gonna have like legit sugar, and I'm gonna limit my exposure to it, and then basically like enjoy it and move on, as opposed to um, using alternatives. Now, the one alternative I will use without hesitation is stevia extract, which is one way to, I think, curtail processed sugar intake for me. That's one way. Another way for me, I want to do way more protein and way less carbs. I'm not talking about going low carb or going carb free. I'm talking about over indexing on protein as a way of curbing my appetite. So, like, for example, say I cooked a whole bunch of food on, I'm going to say I cooked a whole bunch of food on the weekend. I will give myself more protein to keep myself less hungry. Yeah, less junk food. I mean, for me, I like a little bit more veggies and definitely protein dense. And I have been personally singing the praises of an unafraid relationship with red meat, because I've learned red meat has like a bunch of, I think, mineral and vitamin benefits for you. And for me, the problem with my life isn't cholesterol, in my opinion. Some might argue, but for me, in my opinion, my problem isn't cholesterol. My problem is stress. I definitely want to limit my exposure to stress. And me being a software developer, sometimes that's not helped. But Yeah, I think I just crossed the line where I was like, you know what? I want to eat real things. Like, okay, let me put it to you this way. I'm not a major fan of like flavored potato chips, in the sense that I'm not going to spend my time eating a whole bag of, barbecue barbecue chicken and ribs flavored Lay's, for example. Like, I will have 3 or 4 pieces of barbecue chicken and have regular potato chips and have a clear line of demarcation between what it is that I enjoy eating and what tastes interesting. So, like, hey, are you gonna have potato chips? I mean, in my opinion, by all means, go full on, full salt, full fat. And then basically, it's been my experience that I'm going to eat less, or at least the goal is to eat less, enjoy them more, and then, what is it that I'm trying to say? Enjoy them more, and then, drink water. Water follows salt. If you have salt, you will drink water. Be- because your body's going to be like, ugh, I need something to drink. And that, I learned, is a very, 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 very natural response. Actually, I learned that if I do not take in salt, my body, I think, actually complains, because it's like, oh, you're not drinking salt. Why? Like, so what? Like, I think I'll drink less water. There's a kind of like cascade effect, a bit of a health resonance cascade for me, uh, with regards to doing certain things differently. So I don't know. Like, I guess what I'm trying to say is I'm taking things in differently. Boulder's brand chips. No, actually. I Drop me like a link or a whisper, probably a whisper, um, with a link to them, just so I can go check them out at some point. Well, there we go. And I think, okay, like, I, I don't think it surprises anybody that I'm lazy, in a sense that there are certain things that I don't like doing. But I think also intellectually lazy, of course, because I've just kind of like, for a long time, just kind of went with the flow in terms of, oh, low carbs, low fat, not realizing, personally for me, that this concept of me choosing a better diet that actually incorporates a good chunk of fat in the right way and cholesterol in the right way is healthier for me. At least I'd like to think it is. I haven't actually gotten my numbers checked in a while, but for me, I don't care about numbers. I care about life experience, like exactly what I'm doing or trying to do. And for some people can do that. Wait, 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 wait. We're going to the wrong place. I need to get on the right ship. I got confused. Hang on. Let's see. Let's see. Let's see. Let's see. Can I get turned around here? Maybe? Maybe. Hold on. Hold on. I'm on the wrong ship. Well, okay. Like, one of the things that I've noticed, without question, like a whole bunch of sugar with absolutely no activity whatsoever. Yeah, I got in the wrong boat. A whole bunch of sugar with absolutely no activity whatsoever. That's bad, because unprocessed sugar is going to go right into fat. For me, at least, I feel that way. And eating, what am I trying to say? Eating, yeah, this is it. Eating actual fruit or actually having a legit slice of cake and then like, walking for a while, I feel is like better. What am I trying to say? Like, I'm just not trying to be like, you know, um, different about stuff. Nope, wrong boat again. This is kind of funny. Um, wait, come on, what's going on here? Clearly, Digi is getting his boatography mixed up. All right, chat. I need to clear my head here. Does Digi need salt right now? No, I think I'm fine. But for some reason, I got on the wrong boat again. But okay, let's stop for a moment. Well, yeah. Like I'm not even gonna joke about that. In terms of the sugar, by me choosing to not drink a whole bunch of soda or put a whole bunch of sugar in my coffee, I'm literally choosing to avoid most of the issues with um, sugar related, I guess, complications. Wait a minute. Okay, stop. Where am I going? I want to go to Tania. Like, I want to go there. So there's only two boats here. The other one had to have been it. All right, stand by. Yeah, yeah. I mean, like, limit my carb intake. That's for sure. So, okay. There are only two boats here. This one has to be it. No, wait. That was the one I was in just now. I have to go. Oh, I get it. I have to transfer boats again. That's why. Hello. This was actually the boat I need to hop on. Okay. Digi, I think, is back on track. And Digi's referring to himself in the third person again. Okay. So, now we hop on a different boat, and now we go to Tanya, which is on the same island as Heraklion. Which, in one sense, if I wanted to stop the stream there, I could fly a plane out of Heraklion and go straight to my next stop, probably up in like northern Finland or something, or Sweden. Okay. Yes, I want to use fat as a fuel source. That is the whole point. Okay, so I have to go to Piraeus in order to actually go to the island. Okay, bit of RPG element in picking a boat. Okay, now, do I literally get back on this boat and I go somewhere else, or do I pick a different boat? This is confusing. Okay, well, there's only one boat here, so let's see. We just got off this boat, and now I think we can actually take this boat to that same island. Greece is fun. It's confusing, but it's fun. Oh, this is so good. Interesting point. Uh, that's it's actually that's actually a good point that you just made. Like I want to I want to go the opposite direction of what I usually do because I do think in general that's the whole idea. Like the things that I'm trying to do right now aren't working. So guess what? I need to go in the opposite direction and be like, okay, that's not working for me. Let's do the opposite. Like, okay, sitting at my desk for 8 hours a day isn't working. Let's do the opposite. Like, be on your feet as much as you can, and then take occasional breaks where you sit down and rest. And then my body's gonna have to burn more fat because I'm naturally gonna be burning more calories. And by, you know, precipitating a change in my diet where I take in less fat, inevitably there's going to be a crossover at which point I'm going to tell my body, hey, I need this energy. And my body's going to be like, whoa, 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 we don't have the ability to do this. And they go, hey, we got fat stores over here, burn them. And then basically that's what's going to happen. So that's a really good point, actually. That's cool. Otherwise, other than stuff with regards to health, I've been trying to take a tighter line um, with spending. I fail at that way more often than I should. But also, believe it or not, it actually hasn't been that bad. It's. I mean, I'm still not in a good spot, believe me. But without going into too much detail, I'm in a place now where we're starting to breathe more easily. And one of the things that I've learned, again, over the past few months has been there's so much stuff that I don't need in my life right now that I can put my money into other places. And right now, of course, if, we're still in survival mode, but I want to get to a place where it's going to be easier for me to make decisions which positively impact my family and leave a legacy. And part of that, of course, is paying down debt, taking care of my obligations, all that stuff. Yeah, I think honestly, in terms of the food argument, you know, um, I would go low carb before I go no carb. I would extensively think about um, ways to curtail my intake before I decide not to, or increase my output. Oh, fuzzy pickles, dude, seriously. Like I'm 100% with you on that. The excuses that I make to do something um, dumb or silly, the discussions that I have with people, and just hear myself saying stuff like, "Oh yeah, I know I kind of committed to wanting to do something else right now, but can I spend money on myself?" And it's like, dude, didn't you just say you needed to um, do things differently? Come on, come on, come on, Heraclean. No? Oh, there we go. Take the job. Smoked eel. Don't get me started on food prices. Ah. Okay, so I won't. Um, but I just know there's certain things about my life right now that I just don't consider to be anywhere near as important as they used to be. Believe me when I say that. So that has driven my desire to do things differently. All right, now hold on. I do need a little bit of help. Okay, where are we? I think I'm all the way over. Yeah, yeah, I would agree. I would agree. Like you got to take care of you got to take care of both yourself and other people. And I think the easiest way to ensure that you're doing what you need to do for others, for yourself, is to make sure that you're at least putting in the fuel to your body necessary to accomplish that, which is why picking that as, say, for example, something important is important. The important thing is important. That's why it's important. Yeah, yeah, exactly, Fuzzy. So there's definitely a balancing act that I think I'm going through right now, and all of us are going through right now. So faux show. In terms of silly, stupid expenses, though, like that's something I can easily curtail. I think where I've driven myself a little nuts lately is figuring out um, how to take advantage of things that I already have, or looking for things which are genuinely going to benefit my life. And I'm not just saying, okay, what can I buy that's going to make me more money? No, I'm just saying, what can I purchase that's genuinely going to benefit me, and attacking life from that perspective. Okay, there we go. Yes, Logan, definitely agree. So, so yeah, we're all on the same page when it comes to understanding that we need to actually, be vigilant about that, and the amount of money or the amount of effort that it takes to make some smart decisions now means there's so much less overhead that you have to account for when you take care of your health down the road, which is honestly where I am right now. Like, I want to make smart decisions knowing what I know now, so that I don't have to make more difficult decisions later. And that, of course, certainly applies to choices about what I buy, and what I spend my time doing. Uh, I mean, some of the essentials, some of the essentials in terms of, like essential utilities and needs, and I'm painting them with such new eyes now, and I'm so grateful for the basics that I have, that it is genuinely making me appreciate my ability to do certain things in my life. So a change in perspective is such a good thing. Like, if I were to get a different job now that took better care of my expenses, I think I'd probably be tempted to, quote unquote, celebrate. But I would not, at least for a long while, think about what it is that got me to that point any differently than what I know now, which is basically, I went through some really crummy circumstances to get to a better place financially. Those lessons are going to stick with me for a very long time. And especially as I choose to, um, for example, benefit myself and others, I hope to get back to the place where I can actually, have more breathing room. Like, for me, um, success is going to look like me actually being able to sit down and catch my breath and sleep, and be able to take a couple days off and be like, nope, this is how it is. I'm taking care of myself, and by taking care of myself, I can get more work done for my company. Success is going to be like, hey, let's go get let's go get a nice a little steak dinner at, like, I don't know, the local diner in town, as opposed to going to an ornate restaurant. Hey, Nathan, welcome aboard, my friend. Good to see you. Just being able to chill a little bit, kind of like I'm doing right now. And it comes down to me also choosing to say, no, I'm not going to bother blowing 30 or 40 or 50 or 60 bucks on flight sim add-ons right now, when I know very well that if I apply myself, I can make my own airports, which I did. And I don't feel like I have to stress doing certain things. And I know that when the time comes, we can go take a trip. When the time comes, we can actually get ourselves taken care of. Dude, my wife got me some new pants recently. I'm so glad I got them. Like, new pairs of socks, a couple pairs of pants. Like, my selfish kind of like, always wanted to play video games brain of like years and years ago would have been like, oh, thank you. But in the back of my mind going, I really wanted a game. It's like, no, 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 no. I'm not in that place anymore. I'm so grateful for what I have. But I will say, naturally, like any other human being, like I like having fun, or I want more, or I want to be able to do blah, blah, blah. So it's okay. I'm in a better spot and I'm going to enjoy it. And I'm going to take it one step at a time. Better does not mean all my problems are solved. Better does not mean I can do whatever I want at work. Better does not mean I can set my own schedule. Better means in doing my job and in squeezing every penny that we can out of our accounts, we are making informed, lasting decisions and better lifestyle choices that are going to benefit us in the long run with regards to money and expenses. Um, there are things that I see different about spending time that I just did not before. And I think it took being, as the kids say these days, being punched in the mouth to understand, no, no, this other stuff doesn't matter anymore, because taking care of my wife matters so much more. Taking care of my family in terms of my pets matters so much more. Taking care of my responsibilities matters so much more than all the other stuff. Dude, I was watching YouTube videos and videos online about how, you know, we don't play arcade games anymore. And the funny thing is, like, I think about this. I'm so weak when it comes to playing arcade games anymore because I got used to um, easy mode. I got used to games that let me save states. I got used to racing games that let me rewind. I got used to playing games that, you know, just were different in terms of not performance, different in terms of what their goals were. Now, don't get me wrong. I will be a flight simmer and a truck simmer for a long time, or at least into the foreseeable future. But I forget the difficulty curve, especially in the arcades, but also certainly with home consoles. When you couldn't save your progress and you just had a weekend to rent a title, you had to suck the bone marrow out of your capacity to to play the game well, and to be able to say, hey, like, um, this has to get beat before it goes back to Blockbuster. So, like, that's just how it works. Those those were tough days. Over 100 attempts to beat the boss. So, am I gonna go up the hill and deliver it? No, I do not care. Smoked eel. Now, current offers. You know what? I'm not gonna worry about that. Let's go find a different company. Nope, not gonna bother. Go. Oh, okay. I'm already up top here. Go figure. Ha. All right. So, oh sheesh, man. Do these people take care of their employees? No, this must be a resort. Check out the pool, chat. Couple of wealthy to-doists hanging out at like almost 3 in the morning. You know they got to be CEOs. Never never saw that in the benefits package. No, no, those have to be Those literally have to be the CEOs talking about, what they're going to do in terms of upcoming events and blah, blah, blah. Nice. So you actually were able to beat a title. That's great. Let's see. Okay, good, 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 good. We can get out of here. Whew. Narrow. Okay, let's go find. Wait, let me take a look at the map. Do we have another? Oh, we have quite a few places just down the road. Down the road a ways. Let's go to. Let's go here first. Dude, exploring Greece is fun. I gotta be careful. Gotta be careful. Narrow. All right, good stuff. Good stuff. I think actually, and I'm gonna say this with a slight degree of caution. I think I have to do a mindset shift in terms of playing old console games. Like, I have to choose, I have to choose to play them without any kind of, yeah, the spaces were tight. Driving a truck through that just was a challenge. I have to choose to play games like, Super Mario 3, Super Mario 2, Super Mario 1 without reverting to a save state, choosing to ignore that technology in order to get good. I have to choose to keep going. You started on the 7800. Nice. So I think I'm going to have to choose to play console games the way they were meant to be played, with zero save states, with just the determination to say, hey, I've only got 1 hour to play this before I have to move on to something else. I'm either going to make progress, and I think we could use save states for the extent of saving my progress, because I can't beat Super Mario Brothers 3 in like 1 hour if I'm doing a warpless, for example. Or not that. I'm saying Zelda 2, Zelda 1. I'm basically just saying if I'm going to play a game, use the bare minimum. Like, keep track of where you're going, but basically say something like, "No, we're not going to. I'm not going to indulge in some of that stuff." Hey, two-faced disc, welcome aboard, my friend. Happy to have you. Not save scumming. There we go. In the old days when I was actually playing first-person shooters, the old creep and save method. Um, you know, but save scumming basically for like current technology. So getting to a place where I can choose to enjoy the experience in a different way, I guess. Yeah. Greece is interesting, I will say that much. But Two-Faced is welcome aboard, my friend. Hope you're having a great weekend. I am having some fun in Euro Truck Simulator 2. I'm actually in Europe, believe it or not. I'm not in Japan, and I'm doing a whole bunch of deliveries and just catching up with chat and having a good time. I'm probably going to keep this up until at least 6:30, and then we'll see where we are, and we'll probably either call it at that point or maybe do one more delivery. Um, I'm better than I deserve, Two-Faced. I am just trying to do my best to enjoy what I've been given right now. I've learned so much in the past literally few months, and I'm just trying to get myself back to a healthy place with regards to balancing my work demands and doing everything that I can do and understanding that I'm doing everything that I can do. and of course having conversations about playing games and stuff like that. But the thing that I was talking about earlier was how we don't play the same kind of games that we used to play growing up. And there's a reason why you don't hear people talking about making arcade conversions of titles. It's literally because there is no such thing as an arcade in the terms of what we remember. We play games. We don't play arcade conversions. It's not like, for example, the difference between Indiana Jones, the adventure game, and Indiana Jones, the action game. We just play, Indiana Jones, period. If we made games that were arcade games today, we would create games with a drastically different difficulty curve, and then we create, ports for like different systems. I mean, considering how we're actually running entire computer systems on single board hardware, maybe we could create maybe we could create arcade conversions of new titles for like the Raspberry Pi or the Raspberry Pi 2 or the 3, just to experience again what it was like to not have all that power available and have to make sacrifices. To say stuff like that in OOT. Oh, so you fell. Okay. Yeah, there's so many video games that I haven't played through, and there's also like a mindset shift that I have with regards to consoles and console games. I grew up thinking, oh, I want to collect them all. Now it's like, no, I don't want to collect them all. I'm perfectly happy with not needing to, and I'm gonna play the ones that appeal to me the most, give me the most enjoyment, and that's just how it is. So, in one sense, I've come far, maybe even full circle in terms of enjoying or pursuing a better approach to playing old games or playing new old games or old new games, if that can be said. Thank you so much, man. God bless you and your family as well. Um, oh man, Two Faced. I think you. Oh, you know what? I forgot. I forgot there was a light here. Another complimentary donation. Majora's Mask is a game that I never played that kind of interests me, but I think the amount of time that I'd spend playing it and the difficulty curve kind of scare me away. I might just commit to playing through it at some point anyway, and being like, for the next like month, I'm only gonna use the flight sim or the truck sim once a day. I'm only gonna, focus on like Majora's Mask just to beat it. Blah blah blah. Two-Faced Disc. I forgot to tell you. I did actually get a chance to spend time with my family. I was literally away from my parents for a couple of years. And details aside, I literally couldn't see them because of medical reasons. So I got the opportunity to actually go see them last month. I will tell you, the ability to put my arms around my parents and give them a hug is something that I will not take for granted ever again. At least try not to. Because being able to actually hug my parents was wonderful. The Mask of Truth. Okay, okay. All right. That's actually pretty interesting. Do I want external market or cargo market? Let's see. Okay, that's easy. Cargo market. What? Okay, no. Okay, well, let's see. I could probably go to Ikara. Mm, at least this tells me where to go now. Ooh, wait. We can explore that other island now. Yes, let's go. Potted flowers. Thanks for the recommendation, Sogan. I will have to go check that out. Let me get turned around. But yeah, it's no secret to people that have actually been hanging out here. But in case anybody else missed it, I had been away from my parents. I've been away from being able to spend time with my parents for a while, and being able to catch up with them was just this amazing feeling. Yeah, yeah. Like being able to tell them that I love them, that I appreciate them, being able to hop on the phone, being able to send them pictures and stuff like that. Like, okay, that's definitely one thing that I don't want to be lazy about anymore. And I'll admit, I do forget, but I want to be. Don't say the very best. Don't say the very best. I want to be the very best. Well, yeah, I do want to be the very best at keeping up with people that are still in my life right now. Because if I am, then I'm going to. Oh, no, wait, that's not it. I am going to appreciate them more. I mean, sheesh, even my pets. Like, if my one cat wants me to go, toss him, chuck him a few ice cubes so he can go chase them, I feel like I feel more inclined to do that and be like, no, I'm not gonna choose to hop into my simulator and go fly a flight that I've done hundreds of times before when I can spend an extra few minutes with him to make sure that, like, he enjoys time with me and I bond with him. So no, we're gonna think about things differently. We're gonna chill and we're going to enjoy time with people and with pets. Period. I can tell you having a strong family and friend support is such a boon in terms of being able to get through the issues of life. I'd be singing a different tune if that wasn't the case. Um this might be one of those deliveries where I choose to just have them load me up because this is going to be a little tricky getting in here. But let's see what we can do. Hang on. Stronger as a unit than alone, for sure. Okay, that's not going to work. All right, let me actually just get turned around because it's going to be easy for me to approach backing into this place from the other direction because then I won't have that other trailer sticking out at me in my way. Okay, that's fine. All right, here we go. Yeah, oof, so much easier. All right, stand by. Okay. Even if I mess up the initial turn, it's so much easier for me to do the things. At least, I think it is. All right, crank it all the way over. Stop. Now we can slowly crank the trailer over. All right, not too bad. All right, I'll take that. Nice. Oh, oh, now you say that. Oh, burn. It's okay, dude. I grew some experience points, some personal experience points. All right, great. Good enough. Let's load up. There we go. Great. Let's go, baby. Wow. So much stuff around here. Hang on. Let's let's take a morning shot. Let's see. Save that one. And then just be like in the weeds, so to speak. I like that. All right. Dude, it's been a bit of a madcap tour today exploring Greece. Kind of cool. Actually, really cool. I have not explored this island in a while, if ever. And I think the answer is that I never have, so this is good. So, sheesh, man, been a pretty, what was I gonna say? Been a pretty profitable stream in terms of getting stuff off my chest and hanging out with you guys and talking about the issues of life. So, um, plans for the future of the channel. I do want to get back into streaming. Into streaming. Duh. I do want to get back into scenery development streams, and I do want to get into more of a technical slant. I think I'm going to restrict myself to flight sim purchases that will allow me to stay focused with regards to, say, developing small and like micro regional airports. So if anything, I'm gonna limit my aircraft and scenery purchases to small airports or to utilities to help me generate small airports or airplanes that fly into small airports, like for example my 737, and also what am I trying to say? Well, also focusing on those things and kind of like making achievable goals out of them, while also not going bananas. Understanding that I'm going to be in places where I'm going to have to focus more on my IRL work, or understanding that I'm going to be in places where I'm going to have to focus more on scenery dev, and being like, no, like I'm not going to do a bunch of flights like I was. I think I'll probably, you know, tone down my world tour stuff maybe a little bit, but I'm not going to drop it. I'm going to keep going west. I might do longer legs at 4x speed like I have been, but definitely I'm going to want to, I don't know, emphasize development a little bit more, and also continue to do things the same way I'm doing them, in the sense that if I feel like I'm just like fried and I'm not going to be doing any scenery development that day or that week, that's exactly what's going to happen. Like I'm not going to go um, loopy in terms of saying, "Oh, I'm failing everybody. I'm not doing that." It's like, no, no. We're literally taking it one legit step at a time. And if that means one scenery release a year, with excellent quality, then that's exactly what it means. I'll probably do a little bit more than that, but right now, I don't even know whether or not that's even going to happen. But again, more of a focus on doing things that actually can be accomplished. So that's it. Sustainable pursuits. Okay, back to Piraeus and then over to the other island to make my delivery. Ferry hopping has been a significant portion of today's adventure. This is cool. Oh, all right. After I drop this load off, I might take a ferry back to the mainland and then maybe call it at that point. I don't know. The biggest avalanches start with a single snowball. Correct. And off to roads. Wow. Okay, so we do have a little bit to drive, so it's not like I just go out of the seaport and down the street. All right. Ooh. Hello, rain. Oh, yeah. IRL road trip today. Uh, Not today. IRL road trip was had this weekend. I did get a chance to spend time with family, and I hit the highway for quite a long time, and just I'm such a road nerd because I I like being on like interstates, and I like being in traffic and around traffic. I mean, like my stomping grounds were like New York City, and there's so much um so many interchanges and so many highways coming together in that general area that you have to be on your A game. I was over in Redacted for Redacted, and I enjoyed it. But what was I trying to say? Being on the road, being on the road is a really good thing. I liked it. I liked it. And it was raining too, so things were tricky at times. They were. But also, I'm glad I got to go out. Being able to spend time with people is something that I don't think I realized I needed to do as much as I did. New York is definitely a place. Um, Manhattan by itself is just another world, another experience. All the streets, all the skyscrapers, all the people. The sheer number of people that live in that part of the world, to say nothing of the country or even the state, the sheer number of people living and working in there is to the point now where it's just massive, massive. And I spent time driving around there, and now now we're at a place where the amount of traffic that's on the road is almost, I don't know, not necessarily unfathomable, but definitely large. So, ooh, stop. All right. And taking the scenery and stop traffic. Not a good day for beachgoers, but certainly a beautiful vista nonetheless. Heh, with a seagull on top. Talk about immersion. I I will say, I will say, um, I haven't actually driven in New York City in like literal years, and I have no intent on doing so, at least for the foreseeable future. So, driving around cities in general, maybe. Driving around New York City anytime in the future, definitely not. So, it's okay. Wow, look at these streets. I gotta say, I feel like Euro Truck Simulator and American Truck Sim have gotten so much more realistic looking over the past 5 to 10 years that taking a moment to take in the scenery like this is almost like something that you definitely don't want to not do. Well, there we go, street photography for sure. Interesting. All right, good stuff. And out we go. And there's the next delivery point. Wow. Look at all this swankiness. All right. Swing wide, and I'm really glad I did that because this looks narrow. Well, not very narrow, but still. And where do they want me to drop this off? Oh, no way. Global cargo market, no. Contracts. There we go. I wanted to go to Kalamata. Oh, no, wait. Market, external market. Oh? Hey, Book of Gaming, welcome aboard, my friend. Happy to have you. God bless you and your family, sir. Good to see you. Oh, look at that. They even got me turned around. Oh no, wait. I'm looking at the loading dock. Okay. This will be a little tricky, but also kinda not at the same time. Hold on. Okay. Now I can get myself turned around. Okay, I might get myself stuck here, but hold on. Okay, good, good. Good chance that I can honestly Get out of here. Gonna shove the trailer over. Actually, not bad. Not bad. And there we go. Got it. Whew, that was close. Next Forza Horizon in Japan. I heard. I heard. I I don't know if I want to pay 30 bucks for Microsoft Game Pass right now though. Too rich for my taste. Still, I mean, not gonna say that I don't care about it. I'm just saying like it's something that I don't have the money for. Now, let me check the map. I can go all the way to Icaria and see what they have. So let's go. Let's go check them out. Oh no, wait, hold on, hold on. No, no, that's what I want to do. But there are other things I'm mulling over as well with regards to franchises like the same. Yeah, man, variety is good. Variety is very good. Like today. It was $1 for like new people that were trying Game Pass for I think 1 or a few months, and I think the regular price was $11. Then it became $15, and now it's 30. So in other words, it's not $1 a month anymore. I don't know what the promotional rate is, but I would imagine it's not $1. But um I'm not stressing about stuff like that because like I said, I'm in a place now where I understand the ways that I can spend my time, the ways that I can spend my money, what I should be spending my time and money on, and also how I can enjoy what I have and try to do my best to resist the urge to purchase more things that are only going to take up space and are going to gather dust. Um, but there are some things that I think I'm going to get that are going to benefit me hopefully soon. And I'm going to spend some genuine time thinking about them. Yeah, and I mean, companies do what companies do. Like, I'm not throwing pitchforks and being like, you guys suck. No, 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 no. It, it's okay. It's not worth my time. It's definitely not worth my what am I trying to say? My emotion? Hang on. Can I get a piece of that indicator? Yes, there we go. All right. Now, was it a cargo market or external contracts? I don't know. Let's see what cargo market looks like. Ooh, there we go. We got a whole bunch of market options we can choose from. Great. My sound mind? I guess that's being brought into question now. Sogan, 1000% agree with you. 1000. I mean, there are some games that I've seen being taken off of Steam, but I mean, at least I have them. I purchase them and I can install them whenever I want. But I mean, some people talk about, oh, there's a massive resurgence of physical media. I'm not here to get into huge discussions about that. I just know that there's certain stuff that what I'm trying to say. Wait, was it external contracts? There's certain stuff that I want to enjoy. Did I go to Patras? Oh, looks like they pulled a bait and switch on me again. It's not worth your emotions and your sound mind. Agreed. Yeah, that's weird. I thought there was something for Kalamata. I was wrong. That is that. All right, let's go back to mainland Greece and probably. Wait, hold on. I'm looking at trailers again. I don't think I've been there. I could be wrong. So, have as much time on ferries. No, no. I want something closer. Yeah, this is fine. All right, good stuff. Yeah, I think in general, I'm going to over-index on playing titles that I'm going to enjoy, not things that are going to drive me batty. So no, we're not going to pursue things that are going to make me go bananas and want to flip tables. No, no, we're good. We're good. We're gonna enjoy. We're gonna enjoy what we have, and we're gonna enjoy it with friends, and we're gonna have a good time. Because flipping tables takes energy. I mean, maybe if I flip enough tables, I'll get buff, but I don't know. Again, chat, I don't want to be stressed out. All right. And doing a whole bunch of deliveries in Euro Truck Simulator 2 today with you amazing folks in chat has been a nice counterpoint to flying in a sim. And while I'm remembering this, a moment to take to thank my friends over in Canada. It is their Thanksgiving today, so happy Thanksgiving over to those wonderful folks. And if anybody is otherwise enjoying dinner and time with family, I don't know if y'all do Thanksgiving the same way we do, turkey and trimmings. But if that's the case, enjoy your food, enjoy your post meal, hang out and or nap. Not gonna judge. Um, Sincerely though, thanks for being friends to me, and happy Thanksgiving to you. Ours is coming next month. I know, next month. Absolutely crazy that next month's gonna be November, and we're like 2.5 months away from like 2026. But I don't want to think about that right now. I want to enjoy where I'm at. Another benefit that I got to getting out this weekend was to see the beautiful fall foliage where I was, which was in Redacted. But where I'm at in the mid Atlantic states, depending on where you are, it should be in no contest that now you are going to be seeing the leaves change colors and fall off the trees. And I'm grateful for that. I really am. And I am looking forward to seeing the leaves change colors even more, and just kind of being in that mode until it's time for them to go away, and it gets even colder outside, because that means that like Christmas is literally around the bend. Oh, that's amazing book. Fantastic. Oh, dude. Time with family, time celebrating birthdays, time enjoying time together, breaking bread together. It's just a hallmark of this season for me, and it's another one of the reasons why I think months like this where it gets colder, and you spend time elbow to elbow, and like you tell stories and you eat good food. I'm grateful for that. I am grateful for that. I am living, living it. Oh, loving it, loving it. Tomorrow is Thanksgiving up here, and the trees are yellow. Nice, nice. So okay. Lost Lake, Lost Lake. Forgive me my potential faux pas. Is your Thanksgiving today or tomorrow? I need to get that right. I know it's like basically Canadian Thanksgiving weekend. 'Cause I know my friend Studio Canuck is not streaming right now. To the same. That's a great question. I mean, like, hey, not afraid to admit that I get that wrong on a regular basis. So I thought it was today, but it sounds like I'm wrong. Okay, yeah, tomorrow. Tomorrow. Thank you, thank you. I sent some greetings to my friends, Pure Luck and Studio Canuck, with regards to Thanksgiving. But thanks for clarifying that for me. In the states, it's usually always the last Thursday of November. Always the last Thursday of November, and then basically that's the biggie. And then basically, we go hardcore into Christmas. But I've been Christmasing in my head since off and on since about like the end of September, beginning of October. Although I've been busy, so I haven't actually gotten myself into that mode as much as maybe I should, for various personal and logistically life related reasons. But I'm here, and I think after the stream ends today, I'm gonna unplug, turn the computer off, um, make dinner, sit down, do stuff like that. Okay, the holiday is most people celebrate today, the Sunday off, Monday to relax and have the turkey hangover, then back to the back to the Tuesday. Right. So, so you have dinner with family. You all have dinner with family tonight, and then you do post stuff the following day, and then go back on Tuesday. Okay. All right. Good to know. Good to know. It's crazy how fast this year has gone by, or at least it's gone by pretty quick. And I also have zero regrets about doing trucking today. This has been a great chance for me to catch up with you guys in chat. It would have been significantly easier for me to see chat messages if I was doing a long flight in the flight sim, but exploring Greece in a truck, in this truck, is also nice. Okay, so we are leaving Rhodes and we are going back to mainland Greece. Going back to the mainland. Ooh, nice. An old school, well, kind of an old school Volvo wagon. It's not that boxy, but I don't see wagons that much in my part of the world. It's more like an SUV here. All right, don't want to hit anybody's vehicle. Cool. Okay, so I definitely can't complain. Today we did a lot of Greek island hopping, and and I learned it is possible to go one place in a boat and then have to get out of the boat and get back in the same boat to go somewhere else. So so that's funny. Um, and also just sharing time with all of you and enjoying this is great. I don't know. I might wrap this year by doing a lot more Euro Truck Simming. And whether or not you're here, Canuck, I will probably get back to you at some point about setting up some lazy, like no rules, relaxed, relaxed, relaxed convoy action. I don't know. I might have to. Tomorrow is definitely for me such a necessity just to kind of air my brain for a little bit. Let's go back to the mainland. Um, Total transparency. I'm grateful for all of you. I'm grateful for my support system. I was struggling for more than a little while. And actually, Mrs. Digi and I had some time to chat while we were running errands today. And she was like, listen, like when you show emotion, when you communicate with me, that's like, that's fantastic. Do that. Don't keep your stuff bottled in. Like, she was my hero in that moment. Seriously. She was the Letty to my Dom. Thank you, Lost Lake. I really appreciate having you here, and I appreciate that compliment. I like trucking after a day of work, after a day of programming, and not gonna lie, this is like an ultra chill for me. It's like vehicular. Maybe you could call it vehicular Prozac. I don't know, but uh, uh, vehicular Percocet. No, no, no. We're not gonna quantify that. All I know is it's a nice way for me to chill. I like to chill by driving virtual trucks, and this has I've done this for literally, I think, off and on over 10 years. So if this would not have worked out well for me, I probably would not have been doing this by now. And I'm so 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 grateful to be doing this. So thank you for allowing me to indulge in this while chatting all of you up. And I gotta tell you, Lost Lake, I appreciate seeing you. I appreciate seeing people like Kaon, Sogan, Fuzzy Pickles, Two Faced Disc, a lot of people, Book of Gaming, people coming in to chat and saying hello. Like, I'm gonna risk sound like a broken record again, but I'm going to tell people having people in chat. Hey, hello, hello, Sogan. Um, Having people in chat and talking to them and having them roast me and having them like have do like fun jokes and stuff like that, it it matters a lot. It matters just about as much as actually getting subscriptions or getting donations. Like it matters, I would dare say it matters more. If there's ever a day for a roast, it's today. Oh, dude, nicely timed. Crafton, hello, my friend. Welcome. Welcome, welcome in. I have been spending today in a truck driving around the island of Greece, accidentally turning on my emergency brakes, and where is it? Where is it? Where is it? There we go. Accidentally turning on my brakes and causing problems for traffic behind me, but also enjoying myself. Oh man, so happy to have all of you aboard. Like this is wealth for me. Having friends that I can talk to and having experiences that I can share with you guys. It's great. You all make the stream wonderful. And some healthy ribbing, I appreciate. Um we have been tooling around various islands and parts of Greece, and I am on my way to what I'm pretty sure is going to be my last delivery for today, and basically checking on garages that I have, and I've got the game now to a point where I have maxed out my hires. I've hired basically everybody that I can hire, so I don't know how much more expansion I'll be able to do, but I definitely know I've got people making money for me. I've got like 13.9 million euros in my account. I've got, I think, somewhere around 60-ish garages across Europe, probably a few more, and probably somewhere around 2 to 300 virtual employees making money on a regular. Yeah, Crafton. Like I said, I've been playing Euro Truck Simulator 2 off and on since literally when I first picked it up in 2014, 2015. And I got to a point where I turned the sim on one day and realized, oh, I have like 8 million euros. Let's go build some garages. And from that point on, I snapped up garages. I got to the point where I could literally buy garages without driving to them, without discovering them, I think. And then I think I hired basically everybody that I could hire, and now I'm where I am. Which makes me wonder if and when SES Software releases the touring bus add-on, I might temporarily disengage from Project Japan to drive a tour bus around and have my company still make money for me that way. I don't know. I don't know. I'm not in a huge rush to do that. CEO working at the ground level, baby. That's right. Because I couldn't stay away from the open road. I couldn't. Um, yeah, I don't I don't think that's working out really well for the bean counters and the C-suite, but I know I'm having a good time. How much does Japan cover? Japan covers Daikoku, Yokohama, Tokyo, Osaka, Kobe, and the vicinity. The North Shore, which I think covers Kazayama or Kayazama. I'm sorry, I'm probably missaying those words. It covers a few cities up there. It covers Shikoku Island, a few cities of Shikoku Island, and I think it covers Kitakyushu, way over on the island where Fukuoka is. So a couple of years ago, or 2.5, 3 years ago, there wasn't a whole bunch to Project Japan. And then in the years since then, they've expanded drastically. So if all you did was play Project Japan for about a week straight, you would cover more than a little bit of ground. Driving in Japan is kind of like what I'm doing here. Driving a place, hopping a boat. Driving a place, hopping a boat. And then you'd like go from one region to another. I think you can do inter-region work, but it's kind of rare. So it's not yet. You can get kind of close to it. There's a town on the same island where Fukuoka is, but it doesn't go there. You can also go to, I think you can go to either Hiroshima or Nagasaki. You can. And you do cross the I forget what that sequence of bridges is to get to Shikoku Island, but there's like three or four or five bridges you cross to get there. So that is like that same system. It's just compressed, but not as compressed as a European map, because this ETS2 map is the Europe map is 119 scale. Project Japan is 110 scale. When you combine a larger scale and lower speed limits, it takes you longer to get from point A to point B. I think you need to download all of the map expansions before, like including Greece, and then you can go to Project Japan site and follow the instructions. If you're going to download the map mod, please do me a favor. Read the instructions carefully and follow them precisely. I don't care if you literally ask me to hop on a Discord call with you. I will gladly walk you through the process because I installed it, and you actually don't need to do so much. And there's going to be a lot of ads or probably bloatware they ask to download. You don't have to. You can do it a certain way officially through the Project Japan site. They ask that you don't download the map mod through other places because that's probably how you're going to run into issues with 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 messed up or corrupt or virus ridden map mods. And it's unfortunate, but you can actually download and install it nicely, and this person's doing the exact same thing the other car was. I wonder why they do that. That's weird. Deliver an AMRAM. Oh wow. Uh, um, no routes to South Korea yet. None of that. But you can go pretty far west. You can actually. Flex SRS runaway. Let's go. Nice. So we're zeroing in on our final destination for tonight. Um, I mean, stick around for a few minutes. I'm going to go ahead and share my Discord link for anybody that's lurking that wants to join the community. I finally figured out how to actually share the thing. And I go talk about life and flight sim and trucking and share screenshots there. And occasionally we crack jokes and talk about scenery development. But stick around and I'll share that if you haven't joined the Discord yet, because I'd like to share that and actually can share my Discord link now, which is amazing. So there's that. I will go ahead and start working on dinner for tonight immediately after. And I need to get over here. Stand by. I would say, I would definitely say, if you're going to download and install it in like a truck sim, and you actually do install it correctly, just understand this. Especially if you get any mods for harder mode operation, there's supposedly a mode that you can actually use Project Japan in, where it's so hard they don't tell you exactly where to go on GPS. The GPS will just get you into town, and then you'll literally have to remember where to go to drop off your cargo. You can also you can also you know park in even smaller spaces in some of the roads that we drove on. But I will say, getting back into ETS and experiencing what Europe has to offer, I'm glad I did that because Greece, man, Greece is just greasy. It's amazing. Will I come back to ETS2 in Europe? Most likely. This is amazing. And I've already experienced 8 out of the 12 places you can go to in Greece. Official cities, I mean. Oh, look at that. I went the wrong way. Haha. That's fine. We'll cover more ground that way. But yeah, yeah. I think it's definitely gonna do it for me. Just discovered a truck dealer. And I would say I would say I might do some retro gaming tonight. I've recently rediscovered how to play the Amiga, and I think I played like one or two arcade games. And there's a lot that I have to learn about the Amiga as a console, not a console, a computer system, and its history and its legacy. Am I going to be doing a retro gaming stream anytime soon? Most likely not, but I am quite possibly interested in one in the not too distant future. I don't know when. I don't know when. I just know it's possible. It's on the menu. I just don't know if I'm going to be doing it anytime soon. Hit. Whoops. Also, pardon me. Big trailer coming through. Okay, last delivery of the night. So let's go ahead and tuck this one into bed. Oh, are you serious? Like, are you legit serious? No, we're we're not doing that. Uh-uh. Whew. I don't think so. Okay. Okay, good enough. Parking brake, engines off. 2:24 in the morning. Virtual time. I'm so crooked here in terms of parking, but I don't care. It's amazeballs. Wonderful stuff. We have made it. Okay. There we go. I just hit level 33. And now I can give myself another dot for just-in-time delivery. I got like 4 more of these dots to go, and my profile is legit maxed out. It's amazing. Standby 1. 4 more to max. Thank you, Lost Lake. All right, do me a favor, sit tight. I think some of you already are on my Discord, but I'm gonna create an invite for anyone else that actually wants to join. Please tell me I can actually paste this in chat. Please tell me I can paste this in chat. Can I paste this in chat? Yes. If anybody wants to, you are welcome to do so. And Fuzzy, thanks so much for the whisper, by the way, for the for the chips. I'll take a look at those a little bit later. Now, I've got that. I do manage the Discord myself. A lot of people used to ask me stuff like, "Oh, well, like, do you have a Discord?" And I used to say no all the time. And this was like when I started streaming. And when I got to like 2019, hold on. When I got to like 2019, it got to the point where it was like, do you have a Discord? I finally got tired of saying no, so I set one up. So a quick recap. Here's my garage manager. I have 79 garages owned. and drivers. So 79 garages owned, and I have 355 people employed. So let me have some fun. I legit now have enough money to probably upgrade people's trucks on demand. So let's do this. This person has a top line truck, 6x4 chassis, top of the line engine, top of the line. Actually, yeah, they're about as diverse in terms of stuff as you can get. For loyalty, for a whole bunch of stuff, let's go ahead and give them. I don't know if I need. I don't know if I want to give them exclusive because it kind of looks like eh. But you know what? Whatever, whatever. Now, interior can stay the way it is. Let me. You know what I am going to do? I'm going to brand them all. Nice. So I'm going to do this one at a time. I'm not going to go through all 355 of them at this point, but I am going to add a few nice touches. So we have a whole bunch of flags. I'll leave the flags out for now. Stock. I'm going to go with stock V8. We have the Griffin logo. We have a whole bunch of lights. And what else am I missing? That's fine. Let's go ahead and give them chrome lighting. Oh, we already have. Oh, no. I see. Hold on. Yeah, keep those lights. now I'm just having fun. Okay, yeah, change this one out. Consistency, people, consistency. All right, now make these painted, both sides. Runners. And what did we have before? We had this. We had Sirius. Seriously? Let's go back. Yeah, I want. Oh, I see. There we go. So Sirius was what we had before. Let's do dark silver and paint this out. And then we'll give them painted caps. Although steel looks pretty cool. Chrome looks kind of nice. What about Duke paint or standard paint and go fully dark? Do I want a cap for this? Keep it standard. And now we're going to do this. We have dark silver. We'll go dark silver paint. As you can tell, I like customizing vehicles. All right, let's go ahead and finish out the customization. Paint like we did before. And what do we even have here? No, that's fine. I don't know, I kind of like the way this works. There we go. There we go. And now we have a nicely customized Scania truck for one of my longtime employees. And I'll probably begin the process of branding my company, like legit branding my company over time. Congratulations, friend. There you go. Nicely customized truck. And the trailer, I'm going to rebrand. And we're going to go from canopy to spurs of fire. Let's go. Not going to worry about trucking the trailer out too much right now. But there we go. Now he's branded. So yeah, there you go, folks. That's me trucking through Europe in a nutshell. We got back to the mainland. We did hop to plenty of islands. Catch me on Discord, do that link that I provided in chat, and we will talk more about stuff, maybe trucking, probably flight simming, maybe some scenery development, and maybe talk about more scenery development along with life issues. Friends, thank you so much for hanging out tonight. Really, really appreciate every single one of you. Like I said before, I'm a born again Christian, and I worship and rest in Christ Jesus as my Savior. I would love for the world to know Him as Savior. I want you to understand that I appreciate having you here regardless of who you are or what you believe. But if you ever wanted to trust in Christ as Lord, it's as simple as understanding that you and God have had a disconnected relationship because of sin. You know your life doesn't work without Him, and you want to know Him as Lord. And just to say something like, God, I want to believe in you and trust you through Jesus Christ as Lord and Savior. I don't want to live the life I do anymore. Come into my heart and save me from hell, and give me newness of life in Jesus' name. Friends, thank you for hanging out tonight. Thanks for being part of the stream. Lyles, thank you so much for your time. Take care, my friend. I'll catch you guys on the next one. And that's probably going to be either next weekend or I don't know when. But again, hang out with me on Discord if you want, and we will talk more maybe at some point in the near future. Until next time, friends, take care. And like I always like to say at the end of every stream, if you want true peace, you want the Prince of Peace, and that's Jesus Christ. Take care, my friends. Have a great night. Much love to each and every last one of you. And until next time, we'll see ya.